Hey, Jason here from the Insubordinate Angler on behalf of Rod and Rivet. Today we're going to tie Robert's sinking spider. This is the perfect fly for any of the pond situations around here. We catch tons of bass, bluegill, even had some catfish take a bite out of it. It's quick, simple, easy to tie with very inexpensive materials, and it just plain works. Okay, so we're going to be using a Lightning Strike SN1 in a size 10, but any nymph hook's going to work. For thread, I've got UTC in black, 70 denier, but again, anything kind of comparable to that, Danville 6.0, Uni 8.0, anything in that size is going to work pretty well. So we're just going to start our thread up here at the eye of the hook, a little bit behind it, and we're going to lay down a good solid foundation running back, using my tag end to stack those thread wraps right next to each other. And I want to come back to where my threads, when I stop, my thread's going to hang in between the point of the hook and the barb. Super simple materials. These are just ultra chenille, tie them in any color you want. We like chartreuse and black. All right, so we're going to even those up, make sure that they are behind the eye of the hook. Go ahead and tie those in on top. And again, to make stuff stay on top of your hook, you want to pull your thread straight up. So these first series of wraps are not very tight. They're just attaching the material to our hook shank. And when we come back down, this is when we're going to hit this with some really nice tight thread wraps to build that good foundation. Anytime you're tying flies for bluegill, panfish, whatever, they're going to fall apart on you, just the nature of the game, because those little fish have teeth and you're going to get so many little bites on there. So good idea to go ahead and just throw some head cement on this, let it soak in. I'm using Sally Hansen's Hard as Nails, but you use whatever head cement you like. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up this green chenille. And I'm just going to start wrapping a body. I've got to advance my thread a little bit. And this should take up roughly half of your hook shank. So just touching turns. And then when I get up here, I'm going to hold that chenille straight up above the hook shank and take 3 good tight wraps. So I've got 3 good tight wraps to hold that in place. I'm going to pull up on the chenille and down on my thread to make sure that that seats. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to strip this off nice and close. Now for our black chenille, we're going to take and we're going to pull it right over the top. And just like we were tying a wing case on, say, a pheasant tail nymph or a hare's ear nymph, we want that centered over the top. And the best way to do that is to actually hold that out there with your right hand, wrap your thread over, and then pull straight down. And what that's going to do is that's going to put that right on the center of the hook. Now we can advance our thread up to about an eye length behind the eye, and we're going to go ahead and just wrap this black chenille the same way we did the chartreuse. So again, we'll tie that down with 3 tight wraps. Pull down on our thread, up on our chenille to seat the thread. Trim that off nice and close. Now all we got to do is build a little bit of a thread head, and we're going to come in here and whip finish. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the thread, and using the same thread I'm going to restart it right back here where my body transitions from chartreuse to black. And this is where we're going to attach our legs. Okay, so I'm going to take my rubber leg, fold it in half, find that midpoint, come in here and just use 1 loose wrap of thread. Now I can position it over to the far side. I'm going to take the second leg, do the same thing, put it on my near side. And because that thread is loose, I can go ahead and move these around and put them where I want them. So now we're going to do a couple of tight wraps just to hold those in place. We're going to whip finish by hand so that we can get around all the rubber legs. Tighten down and remove the thread. And now, because we did a hand whip finish, we want to come in here with some head cement and just protect those thread wraps. That should soak right in there. So last thing to do, we're going to cut these 2 loops, open up our rubber legs, and then to trim them, I'm just going to pull them all straight up. Use my index finger as a rough guide for length, And I'm going to go ahead and trim those. And I like to leave those long when I'm tying the fly, and then I can always trim them shorter when I'm out there on the water if I need to. So that's the slow sinking bluegill spider. Tie some up and go catch some fish.